Who's in therapy? Two chairs face each other in a quiet room. One chair has been silently labeled broken. The other chair has been silently labeled helper. Nothing violent has occurred. Nothing cruel is happening. Yet nothing ever truly resolves. The session begins the same way it always does. One voice says, "I have trauma." The other voice hears, "A real event happened in time that damaged a real self." And in that single translation error, the entire structure locks into place. Because what entered the room was not an event. What entered the room was a story. A story assembled from fragments. A story edited by memory. A story shaped to explain how a self became what it now believes itself to be. Memory does not arrive intact. It arrives curated. Details are selected. Other details are discarded. Tone is emphasized. Context is lost. The story tightens until it coheres around a central claim. Something happened to me. But the past is not being reported. It is being reconstructed. And once reconstructed, it must be rehearsed. A moment that occurred once is replayed thousands of times. Each retelling sharpens the emotional charge. Each repetition deepens the sense of injury. Eventually, the original event matters less than the remembering of it. So the real question quietly shifts. Who has done more harm? The moment in time, or the endless retelling of it? Across the room, the listener nods, attentive, composed, appearing whole. Yet the mind listening is not clean. It contains fear, guilt, private fantasies, unexamined beliefs. The same material carried by the one speaking. The difference is not content, it is role. One chair is authorized to reveal, the other is authorized to interpret. One chair is permitted to be broken, the other must appear intact. This asymmetry is rarely questioned, yet it is the foundation of the exchange. Because if one mind is truly broken, then breakage must be real. And if breakage is real, no one in the room is exempt from it. A healed mind does not search for pathology. It does not diagnose damage. It does not require a narrative of injury to justify its presence. A healed mind sees innocence, and innocence has no history. This is where time quietly enters as the organizing principle. Once the past is declared real, the work can never end. An untrue story must be continually reinforced. Details must be recalled, motives assigned, meaning extracted. Because what never truly happened cannot be completed. So healing becomes maintenance. Processing becomes permanent. Insight becomes an identity. The structure survives by never allowing an ending. This is where A Course in Miracles enters without negotiation. Not to soften the story, not to refine the narrative, but to remove the premise entirely. The past is already gone. The past can hurt you not. What you think happened did not occur. These are not comforting statements. They are terminating ones. Because if the past is unreal, there is nothing to excavate, nothing to integrate, nothing to heal over time. Not because pain is denied, but because its cause has been misidentified. This is the level confusion that keeps the room occupied. One voice speaks about form. Something happened. Another responds with meaning. This is what it says about you. But meaning does not reside in events. It is assigned by a mind that believes itself to be someone. That belief produces endless variations of me. Hurt me. Did this to me. Disrespected me. But no one has ever found a me. There are labels, pronouns, stories, yet no entity that can be damaged, repaired, or improved. And then the question appears, quietly and without accusation. If no therapist existed, what would be done? Sit quietly. Stop telling the story. Question the self who claims injury. Allow the past to remain gone. That possibility is rarely offered, because it ends the exchange. This is not an argument against therapy. It is not a rejection of conversation or compassion. It is a refusal to mistake roles for reality. No person is in therapy. What sits in the chair is a bundle of beliefs. Time is real, memory is accurate, identity is damaged, repair is required. A collection of thoughts mistaking itself for someone. And when that is seen clearly, without attack and without defense, the room empties on its own. The chairs remain, but no one is in them anymore.